Hi everyone, Coach Andre here. I'm the founder of Flowboy Transformation, and here with me is Fatima. She's been my client for the last 5 months, I think. Yes,
Yeah, that's right.
5 months. We've been working online, so we're going to talk about the journey and the results you got. And I think our goal is to really inspire some people that maybe never exercised before. They want to start, they don't know how. Maybe they don't want to go to the gym. So I think it's an interesting part of the story of how you transitioned from just training at home to going to the gym. What were the reasons that you've decided to train at home, and how maybe I convinced you to go to the gym at some point, or it was your decision actually. So I want to get into the bottom of that, what really happened there. And yeah, we can just go from the beginning, like how you started training with me, what made you start, how did you feel that time. So
Yeah, sure.
um,
So I guess to begin with, when I first messaged you on Instagram, I have to say I really underestimated the journey I would be on. I mean, I didn't expect, now looking back, I didn't expect I would have achieved so much online. It's very much been a journey of self-discovery and realizing that I'm a lot stronger than I think I am. And even online, you can achieve, pretty impressive results. So I think, I've really enjoyed it. And every day it's a new it's a new discovery. And I mean, working, I guess to begin with, we did at home for what, 3 months.
yeah.
And did I want to go to the gym? I don't think so. I
I don't
think
think you wanted to go to the gym, but the thing how we started, like you basically trained
yeah,
at home without much equipment, right? So I think you got a pair of dumbbells, a
yeah,
resistance band. That was kind of all the equipment you had in the beginning,
yeah.
right? And that's what you used for the first 3 months, right?
Mhm.
That was all, like I think that we used. And you had the program, and by the time that you kind of completed that program, 3 months, I mean, I could tell that you can do much more, like if you have more equipment available, more weights available, like that, you can definitely go to the next level. And I was really excited to see that, like
Yeah.
you transitioning to that next level. And that's why I kind of want you to try it out, like, and I think that was kind of the deal. Let's go once. So I was
Hmm.
there with you on Zoom, you were in the gym with your phone. We were
Yeah.
just going through just like we call it the gym tour, right?
Yeah.
It was like a gym tour. Let's do a gym tour. We're gonna see the equipment, maybe we'll try out a few things, and I think that was that part of transitioning. Just and you can tell me, how did you feel at that time? Like just starting off.
There was a certain degree of gym anxiety. I
Mhm.
guess hadn't been to the gym for what, maybe 4 or 5 years before that, before COVID.
Mhm.
And I guess that I remember I was telling you about, you feel really self-conscious not having been to the gym for a long time and having people around you who seem to really know what they're doing.
Mhm.
And being a gym newbie, it made me feel really self-conscious,
Mhm.
uh, and a bit out of place. So there was that level of gym anxiety that I had to get over.
Mhm.
But once I did, funnily enough, I am really enjoying it.
Yeah, and that's only 5 weeks later, maybe. Yeah, you've been
Yeah,
doing there for like 5 weeks, I think now. Yeah,
yes,
and so
yes.
I think it was quite fast, right? Getting over that anxiety, right? Being in the gym.
Yeah, no, no, completely. I have to
Pretty
say, I really
fast.
surprised myself there.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean, I
fast.
guess, yeah, at some point, you kind of learn to focus on you and forget about everyone around you.
Do you think
Um,
that flow has something to do with that?
oh no, absolutely, absolutely. I think, being in the zone, like being in that state of flow, is incredibly helpful. Where I guess your body and your mind and your soul aligns, and you're there for a reason, and everything else around you doesn't really matter. I think for me, that was really incredible. Being in that zone and feeling it, and yeah, there's there's no feeling to really describe it.
Yeah,
It
it's a
just
great
felt right.
definition. It's a great definition of flow. I'll have to write it down somewhere. It's really good. Yeah, because that's what it is, you know, you completely switch off. You don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to anything else because you have that clear goal. You know why you're there. You have your plan. You're there to execute, you know, and that kind of keeps you really focused, right? You
Yeah,
have the task.
I really like having that plan because then, you don't waste time. You
Mm-hmm.
go for a reason. I know I've got to do this, this, and this, and let's just do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I mean, especially over the last couple of weeks, I'm really enjoying, that feeling of being in a state of flow. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of, remember I was telling you a few days ago, it makes the effort you put your body through really worth it. Like it's painful. It comes with a degree of pain, but that level of pain is so rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
it kind of it makes, I mean, how do I put it? It makes life worth living.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I've decided to use the flow and the flow state as the foundation of my coaching and
Yeah.
training programs and everything I do, and the coaches that work with me do. So it is something that really I think a lot of people should use, because that's not something I came up with. You know, it's actually already inside of you. You know, it's like finding your flow. You know, and I think it changes everything. You know, the whole training experience, if we just take to the fitness and flow in fitness, it's a completely different experience than compared to not having that in your life, you know, and not having that intention, you know, like, and not knowing about it. So as I
Yeah.
said, you know, with this call and everything, I want to reach out more people, you know, and to kind of explain what it is, how it works, you know, and just to talk more about your journey, right? Because it's your own journey. You had your own obstacles, but a lot of those things that you experienced, many other people experienced, like gym anxiety, for example. And just starting off, you know, I want to go back a little bit, you know, and just look at that first initial phase, that first program that you did for 3 months at home. How was that? You know, like, let's start with the results, because everyone wants to hear, okay, results, what did you get? You know, so, you know, do you have the numbers there maybe, you know, like, or just overall you want to describe it?
I lost around 8 kilos in
Mm-hmm.
the first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for me, aside, from the very beginning, it was more about the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The goal was always about feeling good, feeling like, you want to live, you want to do this. And if in the process I lost weight, then even better. And I have to say, you know, I guess the flow journey for me has been a lot more rewarding than I ever expected.
Mm-hmm.
When I first had that conversation with you and you were telling me about flow and how, it's the right level of challenge and enjoyment. I mean, sure, I listened to you, but I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And I have to say, you really delivered more than I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
and you did it for yourself, you know. I
yeah,
see that
yeah,
it's the client that does like all the work, you know, like, and I gave you kind of a roadmap, you know, like, and I was there to answer any questions, you know, but you took those steps, you know. So I think that all the credit goes to you, and I'm very like happy and proud as a coach that you got all those results, you know, and more than just the numbers, because I remember that conversation in the beginning when you told me, you know, I want to feel good, you know, and it's how I feel that matters the most. And if I lose any weight, great, you know. And I think that actually made a difference, because your focus wasn't on the scale. You know, you were not obsessing over the weight scale, you know, and you're not obsessing over the numbers. You were focused on the other part, you know, how you feel, more internal. It was your internal feedback and goals that actually kept you on the journey. That's how I see it. And that's what made you lose weight, because you felt better. So
yeah,
automatically you were more motivated to work out, you know, to maybe train more, train harder, not skip the workouts even on the days when you didn't want to go. And there was a few of those also, but you
yeah,
showed up. You know, I think showing up from your side, you know, it's what made the biggest difference, you know. And as I said, I think not focusing on the numbers and being stressed, because if it makes you feel bad, you know, like checking the weight every day, you really shouldn't do it. You know, I feel that I see actually that there is a lot of like negative like consequences, you know, like of that, you know, like if you start with the wrong mindset, you know, like, and you know, these negative thoughts first thing in the morning, you know, there is less chance that your decisions that day will be good, you know, like that you will actually do something good for you. So I think you actually looked on the positive side, you know, focused on how you feel, wanted to feel better every day, and did things that made you feel good. And that was the training, right? That was aiming for that flow state, you know, just to feel more alive, you know, energized. And it was also what made you eat better. Am
No,
I
true. I
right?
mean, I think it's been honestly, it's been incredible. I mean, aside from, I guess physical, I've lost a lot of weight. I think,
Mm-hmm.
right now, maybe just shy of 10 kgs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my clothes fit so much better. I mean, it's a bit shocking because honestly, I'm eating rough. I mean, you see my diet every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having that discipline really helps.
Mm-hmm.
I think meal prep is a given. I think if you don't plan in advance, then you know how they say, if you don't plan in advance, you plan to fail. I
Mm-hmm.
think the meal prep is incredibly important. But also, I guess I'm eating everything I really want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So physical, I've lost weight. Diet wise, I don't feel like I'm depriving myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating everything I want to eat. And I guess what's been really surprising is I hardly get any
Mm-hmm.
crave any sugar. I don't crave any, fast food. I don't crave anything that I shouldn't eat, which for me has been very interesting. Like, because you remember I used to treat myself. Like for me, like, comfort food, like I will treat myself once or twice a week because I've earned it, make me feel better about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't even feel the need to do that, which is great. And I think being disciplined, I found to be really, really important. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess maybe because I have a tendency to set myself certain goals. And, like I will work out X amount of days, or I will follow this diet, I will do this and this and that. And I guess I really push myself to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And
I can see. Yeah, say what you want to say.
and I guess so physically and emotionally for me, I mean, on the emotional, mental level, it's just been incredible. I mean, for me, it was always about the feeling. And I
Mm-hmm.
think flow is something else. And I wish I wish it was possible to be in a state of flow all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that is something you have to work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is maybe, you know, like we can talk about it some other call, you know, how you can actually use flow and the flow state for other areas in your life, you know. I'm focusing more on training. Of course, that's my job, you know, being a coach. There is definitely, from what you're telling me relating to food, there is a certain flow with your diet, you know, because, you know, you were focused, right? You had your goal, you know,
Yeah.
you had the balance, you know, so you were not depriving yourself, like you said, you know, your diet wasn't extreme in any way. You basically kept eating what you were eating before. But because if you look back, I never really gave you a diet plan.
Yeah.
You know, it was more of a guidelines, you know, like, and more of being aware of what you're eating. I think once you started logging in the food and we tracked it on WhatsApp, you were still sending me pictures. You could see for yourself actually what kind of food you're eating, the quantity, you know, the quality of food and all that. And I think somehow we all know already how much we need to eat. No one
Mhm.
needs to tell us, you know, there is no need that someone tells you eat this much, you know, or eat this, not that, you know. So with you, it's a perfect example of that, you know, like you were actually focused on that and you worked on your awareness, like self-awareness, you know, with your food and with the training and the experience that's
Mhm.
like underneath. It wasn't about numbers, you know, we really like forgot about all that. You were not even measuring, you know, like your portions or, you know, calories. There was no, I don't think we counted your calories even once.
No, no, which is what I really enjoyed actually, because honestly, it felt very natural. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it wasn't, okay, it was hard work to prep, but it wasn't something I couldn't do.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it wasn't like it wasn't a chore. I had to go and measure this every day.
Exactly. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it. I actually, for me, it was always, again, it goes back to the feeling. And the whole process of diet for me was more about self-care. I'm
hmm
taking care of myself. I'm doing this for me.
Exactly.
And it goes back, again, it goes back to flow.
It is, yeah, it is a self-care. I think that's a really good point, and that you mentioned it, because everything you do when you start the fitness journey is about you and your self-care. Is about you and you having more energy for everyone else. So it's not really like a selfish thing. A lot of people, maybe some people will think that, yeah, but then you're focusing on yourself and you're going to the gym and doing all that. You don't have time for other things, other people maybe, because I've heard that like as working for last 10 years as a trainer, I've heard that people actually feel like, okay, you're just being more focused on yourself than others. But if you do it right, you will actually have more energy and be in a better mood, have more patience, and all that for others, not
No,
only for yourself.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And I have to say, the flow journey for me has actually made me a better person. I mean, I'm a better version of myself today.
Mm-hmm.
Even on in the professional field, it made me more productive,
Mm-hmm.
calmer, less stressed. I'm better able to deal with stress.
Mm-hmm.
And even in personal relationships, I'm a lot calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Better able to deal with the curveballs that life sends your way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's amazing. Yeah. It's really, really, really amazing, and I'm very happy for you, and you're literally still at the beginning of the journey. Like I wanted to mention that even though you're training 5 months, you lost like almost 10 kilos. I don't know, inches also. I think you have the number somewhere. It doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah. You have it? Do you want to say?
Actually, I don't. I think you have the numbers.
Yeah, I do have the number somewhere, but it's fine. That's because we talked about it.
I should write
Move
it
away
down.
from the numbers, like it's a lot of inches lost and gone, so
Yeah, completely. Okay, I fit into clothes I didn't used to fit a year ago. So that is
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
is very much of a motivating factor.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's not go into the numbers. I wanted to ask you a question. Like, since I tell everyone I really specialize in designing personalized plans, training plans. How did that help you? What do you think about your plan that you had, like training at home first? Let's maybe start with that. That was your first workout plan for 3 months, and then the gym plan that you're on now.
I mean, the plan I had at home, I thought was great. I don't know how you do it, but I guess it made sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then when you start with each rep, it just flowed. And actually, and somehow you put it together in a way that it is enjoyable. It
Mm-hmm.
is not. It's tough. I'm not going to argue that it isn't. It's tough, but at the same time, it's rewarding. I felt great. I mean, I felt great after almost every workout.
Yeah, it is again, we are going back to the flow state. And since you ask, you don't know how I do it, but it's very simple in a way that I'm always trying to balance your skill level and, your experience, your fitness level, and the challenge. So every workout should be challenging, but not challenging in a way that you feel overwhelmed, and not challenging, not enough, so you feel bored, because a lot of people also feel bored when they go and work out and start any kind of fitness program, so I think finding the right balance between these two, skill and level of challenge, is what makes the difference, and what made the workouts more enjoyable, and you were able to go through them and actually feel energized,
Yeah.
and feel good after.
I mean, I have to say, at no point did I feel bored.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every now and then I had to, okay, sure, I had to stop and think, oh, can I do this? But then you have to push yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe because I'm one of those people who always set goals, and whatever happens, you have to achieve those goals. So you have to push yourself and do it.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
true.
did.
Yeah.
And it was totally worth it.
Okay, that's really, really good. Everything I think we said until now. I wanted to more talk about how you felt before you started training. Like, so what made you actually start, and what was that, like something clicked, right? And you were like, okay, let's do it, like, and
Yeah.
what did you think? I know you said already, like, you kind of got even more out of it, but I think a lot of people are just like sitting on the fence, and thinking, okay, I need to do it, but they never start.
Yeah. It's a very good point. Okay, I used to be one of those people who would procrastinate when it comes to working out. I will work out today after work. I will work out at, X time of the day. And then something always happens. Something comes up at work, something comes up with people. And I never end up going. And it's been like that for, honestly, before I started Flow, it's been like that for 10 years. Okay, I used to pay a stupid gym membership and hardly ever go. I mean, it was just like having the option, I will go, but then you never go, which is a total waste of money and time. So somehow at some point, something clicked, and I finally realized that I have a tendency to put everyone else before me, everyone else as in, work, family, people. And unconsciously, I put myself last, because if I put myself first, I would go to the gym, I would work out because it's in my interest, it's for my own health and fitness. But when you put yourself last, you never do it. You procrastinate and it never happens. And the days and the month and the years go by and nothing happens. So finally, one fine day, I realized that, hang on, what are you doing here? If you're not, you need to be your own biggest project. And it's nothing about being selfish. It's more about looking after yourself, taking care of yourself. It's about loving yourself and respecting yourself and valuing yourself. So I finally realized that I need to love myself, respect myself, and value myself. And for me, the most important way of doing that was to look after myself and start working out, which is when I sent you that message on Instagram. And somehow, I guess the stars were aligned and the universe decided that was the time. You have to get your act together now.
Yeah, great. That's really, really great, And yeah, thank you so much for this call. I think we got to the point and really, talked about the things that matter, and I think that, a lot of people will get inspired, by this and decide to start their own journey and use the flow as much as they can. And yeah, I'll be happy to help anyone who reaches out, wherever you see this video. I don't know where it's gonna end up, but that's all from my side. So if you want to add anything else, of course.
I mean, I would just like to say, I mean, if I can inspire anyone, then this would have been, so worth it. And I guess it's never too late. It's about taking an action now and following through and not giving up on yourself. Keep going. Even if you slip, you stand back up and you keep going. And all in all, every small actions add up, and the results honestly have been so much more than I ever expected. I mean, aside from physically, but more mentally, and having that energy, feeling alive, feeling like I want to do this, and feeling good, and feel like even the feeling strong. That wasn't something I had ever known before. And it's a feeling that is so worth it. It makes it all worth it. And feeling, I think Flow for me has just been incredible, and I would recommend it to everyone.
And it's interesting what you said, that feeling strong and that energy, we do say that as coaches. We tell to people when they're starting, look, you can have a goals like lose certain amount of weight and all that, but you're gonna get so much more out of it, you know, and it's hard to describe that. It's hard to describe the feeling and the experience. You have to kind of go through it and feel it for yourself to know what will you get, you know. So people need to trust the process from the beginning and be like, okay, you know, let's go for that, you know, instead of just focusing on a number. Because what you said now, like, you couldn't know, right? You cannot describe to someone how feeling strong feels like and how feeling energized and so alive feels like. You really have to, you know, get there to that place. And you know, like, what's amazing at that you got there so fast, you know, a couple of months, like 5-6 months is really just the beginning. So, you know, a year from now, you know, like, imagine how you're gonna feel. Now you know, right? Now you can just kind of think of it as a scale, you know, like, and as a spectrum, and think that, okay, this can only amplify, you know, like, my energy, my strength, my fitness. It can only amplify from here because you're going to stay on the same journey. And that's motivation itself, you know, like, you don't need anything else, you know. The scale and the numbers that, you know, you see, it just going to happen automatically as a byproduct, as like a side effect, you know. And I think it's really, really something that I would like, and it's my mission, you know, like, as a coach and promoting the flow and the flow state, that I would like millions of people or every person on the planet to actually have in their life, you know. That would be really, really amazing to see, like, more. And yeah, that's it, you know. I don't have a better closing line than this, but I think we nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.